Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this online information session. We are delighted to have you us today for this high-level event dedicated to the new Africa Initiative 3 and the Horizon Europe Work Program 2025. This webinar is jointly organized by the European Commission, the EU delegation to African Union, and Euraxess Africa, with the goal to strengthen synergies between Africa and Europe in the field of research and innovation. We are pleased to present 24 new core topics launched as part of this initiative, which is supported by exceptional budget for 500 million euro. So this is a unique opportunity to explore concrete opportunities for collaboration and sparking new partnerships and work together to sustainable, inclusive, and high-impact solutions in key areas such as climate, health, energy, and the digital transition. We wish you a productive and a good online session. And let's get started with, first of all, present Euraxess Africa Hub and Euraxess Africa services. So, as you know, actually, in Euraxess Africa, we are both me, Dr. Ahmed Malal. I am based in Tunisia, the regional representative for Euraxess Africa and associate professor at University of Sousse, and my colleague Idil Fana from Addis Ababa University. He is based in Ethiopia. Both of us, we cover the whole continent, and we try to organize a lot of events and take a lot of missions in many countries in Africa. So we provide mainly free access to information about research in Europe. We provide opportunities for research funding. We communicate about those opportunities, including the European Research Council, grants, MSCA, and of course, Horizon Europe programs. And we organize mainly some practical workshops to give practical tips to pursue a scientific career in Europe. And we try to enhance the international collaboration and, of course, the mobility opportunities. The network is open to all nationalities, research fields, and at all levels. So the main task of Euraxess Africa, first of all, management and development of Euraxess Africa network, to support for African researchers, promote European research opportunities to African researchers and innovators, and finally, reinforce the networking with all LNI African actors. So when we see the main portal of Euraxess, you'll be able to click on network, and after that, you will be able to connect with Euraxess Worldwide Hubs. And when you click on Euraxess Worldwide Hubs, you will see there is 9 hubs in the world, and please connect with us with your Worldwide Africa. When here, some photos about our activities in many countries in Africa, in Nigeria, Morocco, Egypt, of course, here in Cameroon, Yaoundé, this one in Brussels and Egypt, in Cairo, this one in Dakar and Senegal this year, 2025, and of course this one in Mauritius. And we try to
Ahmed,
organize.
Ahmed, can you hear
Yes,
me? I see messages
yes,
in the chat that apparently people can only see part of your slides. For me, it's okay. I see the full slide,
yes,
but apparently
yeah.
some
For
people are not able to see the full, only part of the slides. Do you know
okay,
why?
I will try to.
Can you
Yeah, I
give
will
a
try
hint?
to. I will try to stop sharing and reshare it again. No problem. Okay. Let's try again. We will see if it is work or not. And now, yes. Okay. So here in Nigeria, with my colleague in Fana, this one just to summarize some statistic about our activities since the launch of Euraxess Africa Hub in 2022, and you see that we have already organized more than 70 online events and more than 50 physical missions in the whole continent. Actually, we have a good growth in page views in Euraxess portal from 50,000 in 2022, the first year, and actually we expected then 200,000 page view, and it's for us make us proud to continue this work together. Every year we prepare more than 40 flash notes and 4 newsletter, and we try to put all article news about opportunities, about mobility, about research funding for available for African researchers. And our database grew to from 4,000 to 20,000 this year. We have already made more than 850 news articles. And all article news, it's about cooperation, it's about collaboration in research and innovation. We are connected with all RNI actors from Europe, from Africa, to give you the best, to give you the right information and the best information to take the opportunity. So mainly our mission is to promote PILIA 1 and PILIA 2, and of course, the Africa Initiative 3 and the MED Initiative 2. So, for example, when you see this statistics about the top 20 countries in Africa, and you see the period between March 24 to May 25, you can see we increase the number, not only the eligible proposal, but the accepted and the retained proposal. It seems that we have enhance the quality of proposals, and as you see the success rate for proposal, of course. So when you be connected with your Euraxess Africa portal, and when you click on jobs and opportunities, you'll be able to connect with a lot of opportunities. You can see here the number is more than 10,000 jobs. So feel free to use all filters. Feel free, of course, to create your account for free. You can update your CV, add your information about you, all information about your activities and your skills, and you'll be able to match your profile with those opportunities. And you can see, you can click on bachelor positions, master positions, PhD positions, postdoc positions, and of course you can see many filters like country, research field, research profile, sector. And when you see the opportunity, you can click on you can see all information about this opportunity, and you can apply, of course, to get this mobility opportunity. So usually in Euraxess events, we promote, of course, MSCA, Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, and we promote European Research Council grants. And we organize a lot of webinars. Stay connected with us. Yesterday, we have the first French session dedicated to Africa Initiative 3. Today session, it's English session. Of course, we try to explain the 24 core topics, and next week it will be focused in South Africa, and we will update our website to add all upcoming events to organize in many countries in Africa. So we have MED Initiative, Africa Initiative, and we have the MSCA Africa webinars in June. So we will try to put all information soon in the Euraxess portal, and you'll be able to join us to see how to participate in MSCA actions. And join us, be informed, be proactive, and click on this button to join our community. And of course, you will be able to receive our flash notes, receive our newsletter. And thank you for you. This is the contact, my contact, the contact of the hub, africa@euraxess.net. So now I will stop sharing my screen, and I will give the floor to our invite today, Dr. Laurent Bouchereau, the EU Chancellor for European Union, to present us today the Africa Initiative 3 under Horizon Europe, work program Horizon Europe. So, Dr. Bouchereau, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Ahmed, for giving this introduction and for organizing also this webinar very short notice, because the call was only published a week ago, and we tried to organize this as soon as possible to raise awareness about the funding opportunities, because they're much bigger than in the past. Now, before I start, Ahmed, there were a number of comments on the chat that some people, not all, had problem looking and seeing the slides or seeing the screen. And may I suggest that maybe we circulate to the participant the presentation.
Yes.
So they can follow. I will, as I go, mention which slide I am, so people can, in case they have problem, they will be able to follow on their PDF, on the PDF version of the presentation. I see that there are also many comments in the chat already, so feel free to ask questions, introduce yourself. This is going to be recorded. We will answer question in the final part, and we will also ask for some of them to also speak live instead of just answering questions, depending on the time left. We are trying to make this event a 2-hour event. So there will be, after the presentation by Dr. Malel, my presentation on the Africa Initiative 3. Then Ahmed will show you how you can navigate through the participant portal, find topics, find partners, express interest, and find information about ongoing projects to identify potential partners. So,
Laurent, I want to just to say, sorry for that, I want to say that we reach 1,000 participants online. And thanks again for your interest. I put the link for live streaming because it's the maximum for us. It's 1,000 participants. For those that cannot join us, they can see the live streaming in YouTube channel now at Euraxess Africa channel. Just to share this information before starting this presentation.
Well, thank you. So as I was saying, use the chat to introduce yourself if you wish. But there are many participants that we have heard. We are now over 1,000 participants, and we have 2,500 registered participants. So we may have a lot of messages, and this is not a place to self-promote yourself. You understand this. So you can introduce yourself, maybe explain what is your interest in some of these topics, and you can also ask questions, and we will try as we go answer the question online. And as I said, at the very end, we will take some of the question, Ahmed and myself, and try to respond them as much as we can, and ask some of the participants who have interesting questions to present the question live and make this a bit more interactive. So let me start by sharing my presentation. Can you see the presentation? Ahmed, at least you can see it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a presentation on the Africa Initiative 3. As you have heard already, there are 24 different calls within African Initiative 3, or 24 different topics for which we are opening up a competition between consortia. I will not describe the 24 into full details because that would be way too long, but I will mainly try to raise awareness about these opportunities, the modalities for participating. There are different types of projects. I will try to explain this. And the goal is for you to identify where your expertise might be of interest in submitting part of the proposal, and encourage you to mobilize your networks and your contacts in Africa, but also in Europe, to see whether you can be part of a proposal. So I'm trying to move the slide. Yeah. So this call, 500 million euros, targeting cooperation with Africa, doesn't come out of the blue. We have a strong political cooperation and partnership between the African Union and the European Union, which actually started 25 years ago. We are celebrating this year's 25 years of diplomatic relation between the African Union and the European Union. Yesterday in Brussels, there was a meeting of the ministers for foreign affairs from the member states, from both the European Union and the African Union. And one of the objectives of the meeting was to prepare the 7th summit that will take place towards the end of the year in Africa. When it comes to science, technology, innovation, we are celebrating a 15th anniversary this year. We launched in 2010 at the 3rd EU-AU summit, the so-called AU-EU high-level policy dialogue on science, technology, and innovation. The goal is to, through this forum, we meet regularly to exchange information on respective policies in those areas, and we identify areas where we can cooperate. And this is done mainly around 4 joint priorities, 2 being thematic, public health and the green transition, and 2 more transversal, innovation and technology, including digital, and capacities for sciences. We have established over the time different thematic platforms, some on public health, with the very large program called EDCTP, that stands for European and Developing Countries Clinical Trials Partnership. We are starting now the 3rd phase with a budget of 1.8 billion euro, with funding not just from the EU, but also some of the EU member states and many African Union countries. We have 2 other platforms, one on food, nutrition, security, and sustainable agriculture, that developed a roadmap in 2016. This roadmap is currently being updated, and you are free to contribute to this exercise. The 3rd platform is on climate change and sustainable energy, and I will come back to that when describing some of the core. We also launched, about 2 years ago, a so-called joint AU-EU innovation agenda. The goal there is to go beyond scientific cooperation and to try to translate this research innovation cooperation into tangible results, new services, new business, new products that would benefit both Africa and Europe, stimulate entrepreneurship, create jobs. So now let me zoom into our European Research and Innovation Program. We call it Horizon Europe. It's a 7-year program. It started in 2021, so we have just passed the halfway point, and we've launched the call that covers the budget for the year 2025. There will be 2 more years after the call that I'm presenting today, and we expect in the last call that will be published probably towards the end of this year, and that will cover the 2 last budget year. We are planning to have again Africa Initiative 4, where we will collect all the topics which are targeting cooperation with Africa. So our program Horizon Europe is based on 3 pillars. The first pillar, called Excellent Science, which is completely bottom-up. That's where we have the funding for the European Research Council that funds very innovative individual scientists that can be from all over the world, but they need to spend most of their work and time in Europe. Then we have the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, which sponsors doctoral studies, doctoral schools between different universities. They receive normally about 15 PhDs that will work together on a joint agenda. We fund there as well individual fellows. This is called the Global Fellowship Program, postdoc positions within Europe, but also between Europe and the rest of the world. So we have Europeans going to Africa, we have Africans coming to Europe. And the third part of Marie Skłodowska-Curie of interest for African applicants is the so-called staff exchange, which provides funding for networks of researchers and innovators. It doesn't fund the salaries, but it funds all the networking costs, travel, exchange, organization of workshop, organization of summer schools, and publications, things like this. It's completely bottom-up. They are deadlines every year. So even if you don't succeed one year, you can always resubmit. The second pillar, which is the focus of our discussion today, is completely top-down. It's organized around 6 clusters, which are the global challenges that we are trying to address. And many of those are not just European challenges, but global challenges. And this is why we are trying to engage with other parts of the world. So when it comes to international cooperation, we say that our program, Horizon Europe, is the most open international program in the world for research and innovation. So we open, we provide not just openness for participation, but we also provide openness in the sense that we give access to funding, including from applicants for Africa. Automatic funding. When you're part of a successful proposal, you will receive funding. We also target, and this is why we have this session today, we are targeting, in this case, cooperation with Africa as part of our programming. And then, obviously, we also want to safeguard EU interests. So some of the topics which would be more sensitive, we sometimes close participation to only, for instance, EU member states. So openness, that means that everything is open. We also are open for individuals working in Europe, for instance, through this ERC and MSCA, Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action European Research Council program. As I mentioned earlier, applicants can be of any nationality. And then we are open in the sense that our program can be opened to countries themselves. So we have 20 countries currently associated to Horizon Europe. You see the list there, many European countries, but also countries which are not just in the neighborhood of Europe, but are far away, like New Zealand, you see Canada, you see South Korea. In Africa, we have Tunisia for many years. Recently, we signed an agreement with Egypt, which is already valid for this call, and we are discussing with Morocco. This means that those countries associated to the program, they contribute financially to the budget. The budget for the EU 27 is about 100 billion euro for the 7 years. On top of that are all the contributions from the associated countries. So they provide funding to the program or part of the program, which gives the possibility for researchers, entities, universities, research organizations to participate with the same rights and obligations as any participant from EU member states. So access to funding, as I mentioned, that means that from Africa, which most countries, except I think the Seychelles, are considered low and middle income countries, can have access to automatic funding. That means when the proposal is retained for funding, the funding that was requested, unless criticized by the evaluators, will be honored. So the participant will receive the funding. As mentioned earlier, that we have part of the topics, the various areas, which are flagged for specific part of the world. About 1/3 actually of all the topic have a flag for international cooperation. So we have identified one country, one region, several regions for which we encourage the applicants to involve partners from those regions. So I'm now moving to slide 10 for those who have problem watching the presentation. And this is what we did when we launched initially Horizon Europe program in 2021. At that time, we prepared a work program for 2 years of budget. And when we did that, we identified a number of topics where participation of Africa was either required or strongly encouraged. At that time, we had 36 topics with funding earmarked for 350 million euro. And you can see the breakdown between the various pillars of our cooperation. When you look at the results, because those calls have now been closed, all the proposal evaluated, and all the grants signed, you see that during the first 2 years, we signed 161 grants with participation from Africa. In total, 372 African organizations from 43 countries. And the budget going to Africa, a total budget, is about 124 million euros for the first 2 years. For the next 2 years, we had Africa Initiative 2 with about the same budget and number of topics. I'm not showing the result yet because some of it is still under evaluation. But beyond the topics that we flag for cooperation with Africa, the whole work program is open for participation by Africa. And you can see here the analysis of the number of participation from Africa in the other topic, where we counted 76 grants involving African participation on top of the one I mentioned as part of Africa Initiative 1, a total of 131 organizations from 23 countries, and an additional 33 million euro going to Africa through those projects. Now let's zoom to the core of our discussion today, which is the third Africa initiative that covers only one budget year, not two like for the previous one. But you can see that the budget, which has been earmarked for this, about 500 million euro, is much bigger than the budget that was earmarked for the previous Africa initiative, which were covering 2 years. So it's far more than a doubling, almost a tripling of the budget available for this Africa initiative. We have identified 24 topics. You see the breakdown between the various areas. And I will now go through these topics and mention more specifically what is expected in all these topics. So as I explained before, these topics have been identified as part of the broader global challenges, which have been set up from the very beginning of Horizon Europe. I remind you of the 6 main global challenges, from health to food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture, and environment. The total budget is about 54 billion from the 95 billion. So it's more than half of the total budget of Horizon Europe that is dedicated to those clusters. So now let me go one by one of these clusters and mention the topics which have been included in the Africa Initiative 3. In the case of health, there is only one topic. And the reason for this is that most of the funding for cooperating with Africa is actually implemented by this other initiative I already mentioned before, EDCTP. We are now running the Global Health EDCTP 3 program, the third phase that will run for another 5 years. And there is a lot of funding only targeting Africa. So on this topic, which is complementing all the work which is happening on the EDCTP, you see that the focus is about developing antibodies and antibody-derived proteins for preventing and treating infectious disease. And we are here putting a budget of 50 million. The goal is to fund up to 5 projects, about 10 million. That gives an idea of the size of the projects. Mention here the deadline, which is mid-September. You will see that for most of these topics, the deadline is between the beginning of September, mid of October, sometime November. For some of the calls, it's a 2-stage process. That means you don't provide the full application right away. You provide an outline, there is a pre-evaluation, and only those who are pre-selected are asked to provide a full proposal. But the majority of our calls today will be implemented through what we call one-stage or single-stage calls. So on these particular topics, I mentioned 50 million. There are 5 viruses who have been identified. If you for each of these topics, and we will show you later when we go through the participant portal how this each of the topic is described. There is a description of the topic, what are the expected outcomes, what is the scope, what are the types of participants we want to mobilize. Then there are a number of information about the general conditions for participating. And for some of the topics, there are very specific additional information provided. We also provide additional documents which are useful for the applicants who are trying to prepare a proposal. For instance, for this topic, the expected outcomes or the scope, there are 5 viruses which have been identified, some of them virulent in Africa. And we encourage countries where those viruses are endemic or where there have been outbreaks recently who are still ongoing to participate. So we list the 5 viruses. We define that the expected outcomes are candidate antiviral therapies against those viruses. And we explain, for instance, for the preclinical studies, what are the rules that needs to be followed. We also present some of the non-financial obligation when it comes to IPR, how to protect the results, how to ensure that the research respect ethics, integrity, open science, and that the results will be disseminated. That is mainly public money for this. So on this one, I will go to the next now because we have a lot to cover. The second cluster is called Culture, Creativity, and Inclusive Society. There you have 3 topics. We are mostly funding social science and humanities, as you can imagine. It's not a technology type of research. You see there are 3 topics here with a budget much less, because the goal there is to fund 1 project, not 5 like previously, except for the 3rd topic on the open strategic autonomy, economy and research security in EU foreign policy, where we want to engage with foreign partners. There, the goal is to have 2 grants of up to 3.5 million. You see the topics. I will not describe all of them because it will be very time consuming. You see that the 2 topics are actually for coordination and support action. So we want there not just to fund research per se, but we want to bring together a number of key actors from the research, from the dissemination world, from the civil society, where we bring expertise from Europe, but also relevant country, like the topic on migration and climate change, which is quite important when we look at Africa, how to build resilience and then sustainability. So those are coordinated action for which we encourage the participation of African partners. In the next clusters called Civil Security for Society, you see 2 topics. There again, the budget is not just for 1 project. In both cases, we expect to fund 3 projects. So 3.5 million for the first topic on disaster risk management and governance, and 4.5 million for the other topic, which is focusing on the development of tools, technologies for cross-border prevention and response to both climate extreme, geological events, as well as chemical, biological, or radiological imaging threat. So it's important to read carefully beyond this title, which is quite broad, what is the exact scope and the expected results. On the 4th clusters, called Digital Industry and Space, you see 5 topics. 4 of them are related to critical raw materials, and 1 on generative artificial intelligence for Africa. So for the 4 topics which are on clinical raw materials, this complements a number of programs which have been launched, partnership to develop clean trade and investment partnership and to ensure provision of raw material for Europe in an approach where we respect open trade and we want to reduce dependency for Europe, but we want also to build added value in the African countries which are targeted here. So it's about technologies, it's about developing sustainable partnerships, it's about also developing semiconductor type of application like batteries, for instance, and complementing the EU co-funded partnership on raw material for the green and digital transition, which is a program that build on EU money, but also bring funding from EU member states where we want to open up. That's why you see there is more funding available for this one, 45 million. So for the first 3 topics where the budget is 24, 30, 24, the goal is to fund actually individual projects up to 8 million. So there will be many projects funded there, and they are innovation projects, so very close to market. And we want to see participation of industry and research organization, obviously. The topic on generative AI for Africa has a smaller budget, but the goal here is to fund also several projects, about 1.5 million euro project, which will be mainly conducted in Africa. And we expect to involve a number of startups, local networks in different locations, 3 to 5 locations, and to create innovative solutions to challenges specific for Africa in the area of health, in the area of agriculture, in the area of urbanization, or in the area of digital learning. So you don't need to try to do all of those. One is enough. And we expect there a lot of interest from Africa. And maybe we will look in that topic when we show you how to find further information about a topic, because that one we know will raise a lot of interest from the African research and innovation communities. Now let me move to the climate, energy, and mobility cluster. You see here 4 topics. The first one is for innovation project. It's again quite targeted. It's about developing new kind of lithium-ion battery materials. So it's a bit complementary to the ones I just described on the critical raw materials. Then we have number 3. And for the first one, actually, it's 2 projects of 10 million, which are expected in terms of submission. For the third topic on fostering equity and justice in climate policies, you see that we have a budget of 15 million, and there we are expected to fund 3 projects, and it's Africa and other low and medium income countries. So we expect there also participation from Asian countries or Latin American countries. When it comes to the 2 other topics, the one on the long-term joint collaboration in sustainable renewable energy, we already have such a platform which is coming to an end, and we want to expand and bring more players to strengthen this. So it's not, again, a research project, it's a coordinated and support action, which means that we are mainly supporting networking cost and trying to bring as many players as possible. We are trying now to launch a similar initiative in the field of climate actions. That's the last topic where you see 4 million, where we don't have such a platform at the moment. So it will be a new initiative. Now let me move to the last cluster, but as you will see, where we have the highest number of topics. This is not new. We always had a lot of topics in the field of food, bioeconomy, agriculture, environment. So here you see different type, again, of topics with different budget advertised. Some are complementing European partnerships. This is the case for the first one, for instance, on biodiversity, where we want to expand the partnership and bring partners, and we are strongly encouraging African partners to join. We have a similar partnership on water. That's the number 4 on the list. I'm on slide 20 for those who are following on the PDF on the cluster dealing with food and bioeconomy. So on the 4th topic, focusing on water for all, this is also a large European partnership that we want to expand with participants from outside Europe. You see that the budget there is, in the case of water, 23 million. And there will be a similar call in each of the next 2 years with the same budget. So there is actually a bigger budget. So in the case of biodiversity, it's actually 60 million, but it's split in 3 years. So this year, the budget for application will be 20 million. Then we have a number of projects that are coming from our cooperation I mentioned earlier, the thematic cooperation on food, nutrition security, and sustainable agriculture, which has developed a roadmap, and we have a number of activities being nurtured through this partnership. So one of this topic is actually about improving the knowledge innovation system to make sure that all the information about the funding and the results of the projects which are being funded are made widely available by end users. Then we have some of the topics which are more targeted, like the one on nutrition in emergency situation, to develop ready-to-use supplementary food or ready-to-use therapeutic food, for instance, for people who have been displaced and are suffering from malnutrition. So there it is required to have participation. It's not just encouraged, this is required. That means there should be at least 3 participants from Africa, in addition to the minimum, the core minimum, which is 1 participant from the EU and 2 either from EU and associated countries. We'll come back to that because these questions come often. Then if we go down the list, you see number 5, the innovative solution for resilient and climate adapted coastal communities in the Atlantic. So this is based on a very large program initiative called AROEA, which is about the Atlantic cooperation, Northern Atlantic and Southern Atlantic. We have a number of African countries which are part of this, and those countries are strongly encouraged to participate. And this is South Africa, Cabo Verde, Morocco, Ghana, and Senegal, more specifically. Then you see other topics as we go down, some on plant health, pest risk management. You see 12 million. It's actually going to be 2 projects up to 6 million. And you see the last 2, which is about promoting the living labs and lighthouse approach. So one is specifically on agroecology for climate action, and it's focused on Africa. And there again, the participation of at least 3 African partners is required. It's an eligibility criteria. That means that if a proposal doesn't include at least 3 participants based in Africa, it won't be reviewed. And the last one is also about developing living labs, but more on soil health, to promote soil health. And it's not just Africa, it's Africa and Latin America and the Caribbean. But there again, there is encouragement to participate from Africa. So this was a quick run through all the topics. We can answer specific questions. All the description of these topics the scope, the expected results, as well as specific conditions, encouragement about mobilizing some type of partners will be described in the call. And we will go through one of these examples later, so you understand how to find that information for others that would be of interest for you. Let me just explain how we review the proposal. Once they are received, we are trying to be very fast in reviewing the proposal. We invite panels. We build panel of experts based on our expert database, and you are most welcome, all of you, to apply for this. We will put the link in the chat for those interested to apply. Every time we try to invite new experts, and we make sure that we have balanced panel in terms of expertise, in terms of country balance, gender balance, and we do it partly online and partly in situ, where we invite you to come to Brussels for the final evaluation and the ranking. As I mentioned, for some of the topic, there will be several projects, several proposals funded, so the final ranking is very important. We want the same experts to see the list, the final project that would be ranked for funding. So when it comes to evaluating proposals, we have three main criteria. And when you submit a proposal, you will receive evaluation summary report that explains what the experts how the experts have assessed your proposal along those three, and will give you concrete feedback on the merits, but also the shortcomings or the weaknesses of your proposal. So one is about excellence. You need to show how the proposal, how the work which is proposed in the application goes beyond the state of the art that is relevant to the objective of the call. The second criteria is on impact. You need to be credible in the way you will bring the results to fruition, that they will reach really the market. It's about developing new solutions, and they will be taken up. And the third is about quality and efficiency of the implementation. So we assess there the quality of each participants individually, but more importantly, the quality of the management of the whole projects. How is this described? How the work is organized between different work packages, the responsibilities of the different players, and if things go wrong, what are the plans to mitigate those risks and bring the results to protect the results when it makes sense, and make sure the results are widely disseminated at the end. So I now finished my presentation on Horizon Europe, but before I close, I want to mention that we are supporting research and innovation in Africa through other means using European taxpayer money. So this is done mainly through different programs under the NDC, so the External Action Program. You've heard about Global Gateway projects. Some are focused on science, technology, innovation. For instance, this initiative called ARISE, for African Research Initiative for Scientific Excellence, which is implemented by the African Academy of Sciences, that supported 47 individual young scientists from Africa, from actually 38 different countries in all different areas. And they receive each a grant of $500,000 for 5 years. And we are now preparing a second phase for this that should start at the end of this year. Then we have other program under the so-called DZERA program, more specifically in the area of agriculture. I mentioned EDCT3, EDCTP3 already, which is mentioned at the very bottom. We will have a number of events, big events coming up, and I want just to flag a few of them. EDCTP Forum in Kigali, mid-June. Then between the 22nd and 24th of October, we will have 3 important events. A first senior official meeting between the African Union and the European Union on science, technology, innovation. That will be on the Friday. On the Wednesday, we'll have a similar policy meeting between the EU and the Union for the Mediterranean. And in between, on the first day, 23 October, we are going to organize a large innovation fair where we expect to bring together in Brussels about 500 participants, representative of innovative companies and organizations that have participated in previous projects. And we want to celebrate the results we have had in the past, but also encourage networkings in view of supporting more projects. We will now move into a session organized by Ahmed, more hands-on, so to speak, where he will go through the portal online and he will show you how to navigate through the portal to search for the calls I mentioned very briefly, the 24 calls. How do you register your organization if it's not already done? How do you search for partners for a specific topic which is open? You can see it's open, you can express your interest, and when a coordinator of a proposal finds your expression of interest interesting, he will contact you and ask you whether you're interested to be part of his proposal, and he will explain what it means in terms of work, in terms of funding. And you can find information about so-called NCPs, National Contact Point. We have a network of contact points in all countries who can help you, assist you in developing the proposal, finding partners, and so on. Then we have a number of websites where you can find more information, but I think now the most important is to follow the hands-on presentation by Ahmed on how to find information about specific topics. And we'll take one of them just to be very concrete. So again, ask question on the chat. We will respond as we go, and then we will open for a broad discussion at the end, asking some of you to ask questions online when they are of interest for other participants. And with this, I thank you very much. I see that we're still 1,000 people online. Thank you very much for your interest, and I wish you all success if you participate in some of these proposals. And we remain available for clarifications. And Ahmed, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Laurent, for all the useful information about this Africa Initiative 3. So I will try to share my screen to show you how to find all core topics related to Africa Initiative. So let me share my screen before that. Okay, tell me if it is okay or not. I'm in Google now. Yes, okay. So first of all, we can use Google, and we have its unique platform for everything. If you want to look for opportunities, for programs, for funding, for Horizon Europe, you need to put funding and tenders like that, okay? And when click, this is the first link, okay? EU funding and tenders portal. It's FTOP portal. When we click on, you will see, you will be able to connect with the, of course, with the platform. And we have here many options, of course, okay? And I want to, before looking for the core topics, because Laurent said that we can be in touch with NCPs, with national contact points, in order to establish some connections with the partner from Europe, from Africa, from everywhere. So how to find the NCPs? So we click on guidance like that, okay? After that, we click on help desk and support, okay? Guidance, help desk and support. And we should select the program. For us, it's Horizon, okay? It's Horizon Europe, okay? And now we have option. And this option is national contact points for Horizon Europe, okay? When we click on national contact points, we should use the filters. So we have 4 groups. The first one is the group related to member states, associate countries, countries in the process to association, and we have third countries. So, for example, when we are based on Africa and we try to be connected with, for example, Spanish NCP in the field of health, okay? So we need to select Spain, and we need to select the function health. Okay, so 2 clicks, only 2 clicks, and you are connected with two NCPs from Spain in the field of health. And of course, you have the number, the telephone number, it's mainly the WhatsApp number, and you have the contact email. So you have the contact. Of course, we can do the same for any NCPs in Africa, in Europe, and anywhere in the world. Just you should click for the fields, okay? Each field, for example, when want to search for or look for partners from climate, energy, and mobility, we click on climate and energy. We have 6 NCPs from Spain, of course, the same. The same, you can click on all NCPs. We have all lists, and we can see, of course, some its country under association. We have Morocco, and we have associate countries. You see Tunisia, Ukraine, etc., Serbia, and you have also some other countries in Africa. We can click, for example, in Egypt. You'll be able to see the name of NCP in the cluster climate, energy, and mobility, and we have the contact. This is just to show you how to use the tool available in your FTOP portal in order to find some NCPs. Okay, so let's move now to the call of proposal and call topics related to Africa Initiative 3. So first of all, we need to click on funding, okay, like that, funding. And after that, we have calls of proposals, okay? And now we should select the period because we are actually in 21-27. And of course, we should select Horizon Europe like that. And for submission status, we should select only forthcoming and open for submission. No need to click on close because we look to submit, to prepare a proposal. Open for submission or forthcoming. So if it is closed, it's closed. So no need to prepare something for a call topic already closed. So after that, so we click on the period, we click in Horizon Europe, we click forthcoming and open for submission, and you click all filters like that. Okay. When we click in all filters, we have many new options here. So this is like a recap. We have 21-27 Horizon Europe, and this is the architecture of Horizon Europe. It's the Pillar 1 excellent science when we have many MSCA actions, ERC actions, and here we have the cluster 1, cluster 6, okay? But actually, we don't need to click and to select from this architecture because we have an option dedicated to Africa. So we have mission, we have destination, but we have the cross-cutting priority. And here, please, when you click on this one, you will be able to connect with Africa, and you see the number. The number is already 24. Okay, 24 means that we have 24 call topics related to Africa. So when we click on Africa, okay, like that, we click on view results. Okay, now we are in the call topics related to Africa Initiative 3. And we have 2 options. Forthcoming means that actually is not open for submission, but it will be, for example, this one, it will be in 12th of June, 2025, but the deadline is 12th November. So we have time to prepare everything. The same for all call topics. For example, when we can see this Gen AI for Africa, it's generative AI for Africa, it's a new call topic. The opening date, it will be in 10th of June, and the deadline is 2 October 2025. Just to explain you that it's the same process, okay? I will try to explain and to read this call topic. I click on First of all, you shouldn't save this number because when we have some exchanges with partners from Europe, from Africa, we need to put the number was the call topic identifier for this call topic. For example, human 08, it's cluster 4, it's Horizon, it's work program 2024, it's 04, it's the call. So we have many information in this number related to Gen AI for Africa. We have the type of action. It's a research and innovation actions. It's single stage and the deadline, the planning opening date. And of course, we have useful description here related to this call topic. For example, we have the expected outcome for this call topic. We have also the scope. And for the scope, we have, for example, the proposals should address one or more for the following: architecture optimization, healthcare, urban planning, digital skills and learning. So we have it's one or more for the following parts. And of course, we have some details, useful details about this call topic. And when you should see also the admissibility or the eligibility criteria for the participation, you'll be able to download the Annex A or Annex E and read the document to have all information about eligibility criteria and everything you need to be able to be prepared to submit a proposal under this call topic. So for the budget overview, usually we should save this number. Okay, human 08, and here when in this table we try to look for this number. So we see the number, it's yes, the 01, it's Horizon human 08, and the budget it's 5 million euro. The indicated number of grants, it will be here two, but when we have the call topic, it's open for submission. They update the information, and we'll be able to have the updated information about the indicative number of grants to be funded under this call topic. So after that, we have a grid tool for partner search. In this call topic, I said that it's the same approach, the same process. Okay, when we click on view edit, you will be able to see the 19 offer or 19 expertise offers. There is two types. We have the expertise offers and we have the expertise requests. What means that? Means that if I want to coordinate, I want to lead the project, I want to lead the proposal writing process. Usually I am based in Africa or Europe. I want to coordinate a project, so I have some expertise, but I request some expertise in some area to be able to complete the consortium and to submit a proposal. But if you have the expertise offer, means that you have a lot of interest for this call topic, and you want to offer your expertise, and this expertise, it will be shown in this platform, in this partner tool, and many partners from world, they can show your paragraph. So for example, here, this is the Albanian Institute of Technology. So they request, they show their expertise offer, okay? And they put the contact, okay? It's the same for Albania. There is a lot of Ghana, it's from Africa, Poland, Germany, Spain, of course, Italy, Tunisia, UK. So you have a lot of countries, a lot of organizations, and they express their interest to this call topic, to participate in this call topic. So actually, if we see this list, we can do a short list. And of course, we have the possibility to click on to see the organization profile. For example, when I click on this one, I will be able to see if this organization have already past projects. Okay. For example, an example, we can see another one, for example, from, let's see, from Germany, GmbH. Okay, so these organizations have already 38 projects. So we have the description of the organizations, the organization type, and of course I can see they have 19 Horizon 2020, 12 FP7, and 7 Horizon Europe program, and they take a role only as a beneficiary, not coordinator. So they don't coordinate before the past any project under Horizon 2020 or Horizon Europe of FP7. Okay, just to see the profile of the organization. It's very important to see this information, because when we see that this organization have a lot of experience, it's assists us to decide to contact this organization or not. Before, as you know, for Horizon Europe, it's we need to have excellent proposals. So we need to have also not only excellent proposal, but organization they have some experience in Horizon Europe or Horizon 2020. So this is on my side. This, of course, if you are already in charge of the management of your account. For example, if you are the international cooperation head unit in your university, or you have the possibility to add this expertise, so you can do that. So I will show you how we can add this expertise offer or expertise request. Okay, I want to just click on call of proposal. I will do the same quickly. It's the period 21-27. It's Horizon Europe. Okay. No need for submission. Close it. And I click on filters. Here we have the cross-cutting priority. I will click on Africa. I have already the 24 call topics. I want to see, for example, this one. Okay. And it's the same, the same. We have the topic description, we have everything, all information about the eligibility for participation. And of course, here you will see the partner tool for this call topic. When we click on this call topic, I need to be connected. So I will click on sign in, okay? Because I'm manage the account of my university, I will be able to add this expertise offer or the expertise request. Look, I have already this button. It's add. Add. I have two types. So I will add my expertise offer, okay, for this code topic, as, for example, University of Sousse in Tunisia, okay? And now I will add the short description. Of course, I have only 500 characters to add in this description, but don't forget to add your email contact and put 2 or 3 lines maximum to say that you have the expertise and you'll be able to to add a lot of things in these call topics, and you are interested to be partner in this call topic, and you put your contact. After that, you will receive some requests, some emails from some partners, and you'll be able to enter in contact and exchange about this call topic, and to be able to participate and to have a submitted proposal under this call topic. So I will stop sharing my screen there. Just I want to say that this is the same. We can do the same. You have 24 core topics. You can see topics per topic. If you can do a short list, of course, you can use this partner tool. It's a very useful partner tool in this platform. And of course, don't forget to be in touch with NCPs. Okay, because NCPs, they share the information. If you have the request, if you want to look for a partner from Italy in the field of AI, you can do that through the platform or through NCPs. And you should enhance your visibility as African organizations to be able to connect with all in partners from the world. So, Laurent, I will stop sharing my screen now, and we can, if you want, take some questions or allow some live questions if you want.
Thank you, Ahmed. I think it was very helpful to go through one topic because you were presenting, answering a lot of the questions. I didn't look yet at the question in the chat, but I was looking at the question and answer, and I answered 19 questions as you were speaking. Very specific ones, so they probably not for interest for the all participants. But one question that comes often is about the possibility for an African partner to be the coordinator, and in theory, yes, legally possible. But it's important to understand that a proposal cannot be only from Africa. They have to be, as part of the consortium, at least one participant from one of the 27 EU member states and two other from an EU member states or associated country. That's minimum. And in total, there should be at least 3 different countries. So you can have participants from the same EU countries as long as you have 3 different countries, including the African countries. So there are some questions about Marie-Skłodowska reactions, but I think, or ERC, which is not the focus of our call today. I responded to some of them, but I would encourage you to look at the webinar which have been posted recently, specifically for the ERC. There was a big webinar with a lot of participation on participating to the African Research Council dedicated to Africa. And I think it's posted online, so you can look at it. For Marie-Skłodowska reaction as well, they have been dedicated webinars. So I encourage you to look at them, and see you still have questions. You can always ask your question directly to Euraxess or myself. Now, as I was speaking, did you identify some general question where we want to give the floor to participants to ask questions, Ahmed?
Yes, yeah, we can do that, okay, but I think it's not more than, I think, 6, 7 questions, because we know the time. So let's begin with a few questions. So we have Maruf Sani. Maruf, welcome with us. Maruf,
Good afternoon, Dr. Ahmed. Good afternoon, Ambassador. It's nice seeing you again. Well, so I would like to know. I heard the ambassador saying something like some of the costs, they are not actually for research per se, but for building community of practice around a particular cluster. I just want to be sure if I heard him correctly. Meaning that the whole idea is for that particular call to fund community of practice, maybe for net call, looking at the cost for network, activities, so to speak. Is that correct, Ambassador? Thank you.
Yes, there are research and innovation projects. You have innovation projects. There we fund salaries. So we fund infrastructures. We fund consumable. We fund travel. And now for most of this call, we provide a lump sum. So we actually do not require a very detailed list of the cost. We ask the proposal to identify the budget for the different work packages. And we are providing the payments when these packages have been completed based on the reports we received. So there is an advance proportional to the cost of the project. And as the project develops based on the annual report, there are assessment of how much of the work package have been completed, and there will be then release of payments. So, but normally we cover this type of cost I mentioned, which are eligible. Now for the CSA, meaning coordination and support actions, and there are several in the list of 24. I mentioned the one on the sustainable energy, for instance, or on the climate action. In this case, we are mostly funding the coordination costs. So a travel organization of meeting. There will be a few funding for the ones who are really managing the network, because there are many participants, 50 to 100 maybe. So there is a lot of work to run the network. So there will be some administrative costs which are considered to be also eligible. But it's not expected to fund research per se, but more bringing the researchers, the innovators, the policymakers, depending on the subject, the civil society, industry together. I hope I answer your question. So maybe we can take other question.
You did.
Ahmed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mal.
Okay, thank you, Maruf. Okay, let's take another question. So from Katia. Katia, please go ahead. If you want, if possible, to present yourself and your country before. Katia? Okay, we move to Moses. Moses? Moses? Okay, we move to Isabella. Isabella?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
My question is around the process that you've taken us on the website. I am Dr. Isabella Ipiu, head anesthesia at Kabale University in Uganda.
Uganda, okay.
Now, yeah, I can see that you went into details of offering expertise or requesting expertise. The other grants that I've gone through, you'd ideally hit apply and then apply. So is this one different where we have to go through this, or did I miss the part of applying? I don't know if you get my question.
Yeah, just so the difference between apply as if you have the expertise, or just if you want to explain more in order to be able to give you the right response.
Okay, I think towards the end, your slides, your presentation on the website was showing expertise offer or expertise request. As in, after you've selected the call, then you put that, you either request or you offer expertise and put a short description. So is this the initial stage of the application, or is the application separate from this?
Yeah, it's separate, because you offer your expertise to be able to connect with a partner in order to prepare the proposal. Yeah, to collaborate in order to write the proposal. Because as you know, it's for Horizon Europe, for PELA 2, for Africa Initiative, it's a collaborative project, not only individual. So as an organization, you need to have with you not only one, it's 3, 4, 5, it depends, but mainly we have many organizations from Europe, from Africa. But the good thing that for Africa Initiative 3, the participation of African organizations is mandatory. So they partner from Europe looks for organizations based on Africa also. So we have a lot of chance to be there. And if you want to, Laurent, to add something?
Yes, I think the partner search is to make yourself known and express your interest. I see, as I was also reading the chat, there are people explaining their research focus and their interest possibly in some of this topic, but this is not the place to do it. I mean, it's good. Maybe you will find today some connections, but this is more efficient to do through the partner search function that was explained by Ahmed earlier. So for a specific call where you understand what is the scope, what are the expected results, what are the type of partners, which are envisaged, where you think you have something to offer and you're interested, you express your interest and you say, this is me, this is what I do. I would be interested to do this type of work as part of a proposal. And you give your details. And then a coordinator who is looking for partners will see that. And if he's interested in your offer, he will contact you. And then you will start discussing how you can be part of the proposal. And this is not an application. It's an expression of interest between the scientific community. And you can do that also with the help of your national contact point, because sometimes they also link with other national contact point and can help you find potential partner, or they know about some of the proposal being prepared and they think your participation can be of interest. I see that there are other questions in the chat, some being about the language. All the applications will be done in English. Yesterday, we had a similar webinar in French to explain the call in French, but applications need to be submitted only in English, and the evaluation will be done in English. And what we call the evaluation summary report will be sent only in English. This is done because a lot of the publication anyway are in English, so people are used to write in English, and this speeds up the process. We don't have to translate and find evaluators that speak different languages. So there were a question about when the calls are open, and so we launched the call officially. It's published the 15th of May, but that doesn't mean that technically you can start a proposal immediately. And this is why we say for some of this topic, officially the call will be open on the 10th of June, for instance. That doesn't mean that the information is not available. All the information about the call is available. You can do partner search, for instance, but you cannot start uploading and filling the application template. There was a question as well, is there a template? Yes, there is a template where you need to fill up different parts in a application, the work, and then the description of the various partners and the management plan. So
if you want, if you want, Laurent, we can show the template. It's possible to just to see how it works. So I want to share my screen again. Just it takes not more than 2-3 minutes, not more for that. Okay. Tell me if it is okay or not. Is it okay? Okay. So
yes, it is okay.
Okay. If you want to see the template, I can't do that for forthcoming, because forthcoming, it means that the opening date is not still. So, but for open for submission, for example, this one, I can see, I can be able to start the submission, because open for submission, it means that we can start the submission. Okay, we have this option. Okay. And when I click on start submission like that, okay, we have the submission service. Okay, of course I need to be I need to use my account. Okay, but first of all, when for example I click and I have some peak number. For example, when I use this peak number, it means that I am the coordinator. I want to submit a proposal, because the coordinator, he is in charge of the submission, not the partner. But of course, if you want to see the template, you be able to see, to download the part B. We have the part A, we have the part B, and you have the part C. But for the scientific part, it's the part B. So when we click on download part B templates like that, okay, I think it's okay. Now I will try to. Okay, I will stop sharing my screen to share again the template. Okay. And this is the template. So for the template, usually the template is very rich. We have a lot of details, a lot of information about the proposal. So of course, we can delete all parts, and you have a lot of tips, a lot of indications about the page limit, for example. It's 50 pages, only that. It depends. It depends of the call topic, but for its that's why we need to download the right template from the core topic, okay? And we have some definitions, for example, critical risk, deliverable, impacts, milestone, outcome, everything. So about the project management in general. And we start the proposal here. We have the title of the proposal. We have the number of coordinator, and this is the name, and this is the country. And we can add a lot of lines. It depends on the call topic. If it's 4, 5, it depends. We can have a project with 10 partners. It's possible. So, and when the first part is the excellence part, okay? This is the first one. And we have the second one, it's the impacts. You will see, it's the impact part. And the third one is the implementation. You will see the implementation when we try to have some work packages, and not the summary. Is the third part. Yes, the quality and efficiency of the implementation. And we have 3 parts, as already presented by Laurent in his presentation about the evaluation process. We have 3: excellence, impact, and implementation. So this is just to have an idea about that. Why? Because if you are a partner, you should have the information about the template. When you do an exchange with the coordinator and with other partners, you will be able to add your contribution in the proposal writing phase. This is my advice for you, to be able to download the template. If you are a partner, is not worry. You can download that to see all details, to be able to connect with your partner and your organizations. Okay, I will stop sharing my screen now, just to have an idea about the template. And we have Abdallah El-Gabri or Abdallah Jabri. Abdallah, if you can open your mic and give us your question.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Abdallah,
thank you very
please
much.
go.
Thank you very much for the nice presentation. I'm here in Uganda, Masaka, Equator University. I have 2 questions, actually. The first one is about the event in Kigali. What is the criteria for selection for the attendance of that event? The other question is that here in the university, we are about, or we have an idea to establish a biomedical research lab. So how can we go through this process? And do we need expertise, advice, or the way to communicate? Thank you very much.
So to the first question, if you Google Global Health EDCTP3 forum, you will find the website for the conference, and you can still apply as a participant. It's free. There are more than 1,000 people already registered. For your second question, we are not, through this calls, funding infrastructures per se. So we will not provide funding to develop a lab in the country, but we will cover some of the cost of using infrastructures as part of the research. So being part of selected proposals will allow you to receive funding that covers, some of the personnel cost or some of the consumable or the work. You may buy some equipment, but we're not going to fund a full scale laboratory in your university as part of this, but it can contribute as part of this is not a capacity building call. This is really about excellence, and we want to ensure that the participants selected in the projects already have research capacity. I hope I'm clear in my reply.
Yes.
There was a question in the chat I was going through about, can there be several participants from one country? And the answer is yes. Again, the minimal requirement is at least one participant from one of the EU 27 countries, plus 2 from either EU and associated countries. I mentioned there are 20 associated countries, including Tunisia, now Egypt. Morocco, there was a question, is still negotiating. In the case of Egypt, the agreement has been signed. It would be a full signature in November, I think, but we consider now that Egypt, for this call, has the associated country status, so they will benefit from all the prerogative that apply to associated countries.
Okay.
Ahmed, do you want to take up more question? Or?
No, yes, we can take. We have Molukan. Molukan.
Yes, good afternoon. This is
Good
Molukan
afternoon.
from Haramaya University in Ethiopia. Thank you very much for this very helpful and informative session. We benefited a lot from this guidance and information provided. I just wanted to ask 2 questions. The first one is it possible for an African institution to be the coordinator in this consortium? And 2, yesterday and day before yesterday, I was in attendance here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, an Erasmus Plus cluster meeting, and we were briefed of the opportunities from the Erasmus Plus. So would there be any limitation on institutions in terms of participating in the horizon? For instance, if we participate in Erasmus Plus, the capacity building or intra-Africa academic mobility, and then can we also participate in this horizon? Thank you very much.
So to your second question, there is no limitations. Obviously, you cannot be funded twice to do the same thing from different programs. But you can apply to do similar things in different programs that are open. Could be Erasmus Plus, as you mentioned, or Horizon. But if you're selected twice, you will not be funded twice to do the same thing. You understand? And there is no limitation number of grants. So Haramaya University could get 5, 10 grants. I think in Ethiopia, since I work in Ethiopia, the university has been most successful so far in Horizon Europe is Jima University. They're in, I think, at least 6 collaborative projects, mainly in the health area. And your first question, now I forgot, Ahmed.
It was the possibility to coordinate Horizon projects.
Yes. And the answer to that is yes. Legally, it's possible. You can participate and be a coordinator. In practice, we have examples of projects being coordinated from Africa on the Horizon Europe. But because of the complexity of organizing those proposals, often we recommend to entities who have not been involved in many projects or do not have the institutional capacity not to engage first in coordinating, because it's very time consuming and it's a very competitive process to be selected. So I think the rate of success is around 15-20%, if I'm not mistaken, overall. So some parts are even more selective than others. So it's possible, but an advice is to, when you have found a very talented coordinator who has already coordinated or been participant in several projects, knows how to present it efficiently and find partners, is sometimes more efficient to be part of a project.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So we have 2. We have Johanna. Johanna. Can you open your mic and go ahead with your question? Johanna? Okay, let's move to Mary. Please go ahead. Mary? So we have also William. William?
Hello, this is William
Hello.
from Uganda. Yes, you
Okay,
can hear
Uganda.
me?
Yes.
Yes. Just a quick one. Actually, I don't know whether I missed it. I've been here from 3 up to now, but I keep hearing some countries have to contribute. There are some agreements to be signed. So I want to ask, is Uganda part of, is it part of this? If I'm from Uganda and I have an interesting project, can I participate? That's my question. Thank you.
Well, Uganda is part of the African Union and is eligible to participate and receive funding. Actually, Uganda is doing very well. It's in top 5, I think, in terms of amount of funding received under the Horizon Europe. So, yes, Makerere University is particularly active. If you have contact with them, they have been successful in many proposals, but not just them.
Okay, thank you. We move to John Venier. John?
Hello?
Mary, you?
Yeah, okay,
Please,
thank
please
you.
go ahead. Yeah, go
Thank
ahead,
you
please.
very much. Thank you for this enlightening interaction. I am Mary Idowu, a professor of soil science at the Obafemi Awolowo University. My question is about soil, my project number with soil health and AI in agriculture. Can the projects be, can we have a leader or be coordinated from Africa? Because during the presentation, I think I heard that one of the projects that will be coordinated from outside Africa, but African experts can just participate in the project. Please, we need more clarification on that. Thank you.
I think I just answered a similar question, and the answer is yes. You can also only coordinate one of the work package. You don't need necessarily to coordinate the whole proposal, because this will be project 6 million euro funding over 3 or 4 years, with participants maybe from also Latin America and the Caribbean. So quite a wide range of partners and disciplines. So sometimes coordinating only one package is much more efficient, so to speak, in terms of time you will dedicate also in the preparation of the proposal. So best wishes to you to be part of a successful proposal.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, John Venier, please go ahead. John? Okay, let's have a new question from Yasser. Yasser, please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your presentations. I am Yasir Katir, Uganda Masaka, Equator University of Science and Technology. My question is about the upcoming events in Rwanda. Is just like the attendance, or there is any chance for presentation of proposals. Thank you.
I think you should look at the website, which is online. I understand that the program is still being finalized in terms of sessions, but I don't think there is a call for submitted sessions or presentation per se. It's a program where you are open, you are free to participate. Again, it's free of charge. And then there will be a lot of opportunities for networking, asking questions in different sessions. As I mentioned, there are over 1,000 people already registered, and they're thinking of closing the registration because that's beyond the capacity of the conference center. So if you're interested, I would encourage you to register today before they close the application.
Thank you very much.
And from Euraxess Africa, we try to share the information about the registration link if you receive, and there is still time to register. We will try to share that. So connect with us to be able to see the information and to participate in upcoming events. So, Laurent, we have, I think, Jean Vignier, Jean, if you can open your mic, please. Go ahead.
Otherwise, I see a question. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Oh,
yeah, introduce yourself.
It's not me. It's not me. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Some questions in the...
Yeah, there was a question about when we require partnerships from entities in member states, do we mean individual EU national or entities? Yeah, the answer is entities. We want legal entities. It's not for individual to submit applications. You need to be part of a legal entity registered. As you saw in the demonstration, your organization is likely to be already registered. So there is a number, an identification, which has been validated. If not, which can happen, you will have to create it to be able to apply. But to save time in the application process and the contracting phase, we are trying to register organization once, and this information is used for all the applications and all the grants. That save times for everybody.
Okay. So I have a question. Can I confirm the minimum number of partners from Africa must be at least 3, but do those have to be across 3 different countries? Then for member state associate countries, do they also have to be 3 different countries? Does this vary by call? It's like a variation by call.
So this requirement doesn't apply to all topics. I think out of the 24, 5 or 6 or 7. So you need to read carefully the call. Some we encourage specifically Africa, some actually not just Africa. It would be low and medium income countries, including Africa, but also possibly Asia or Latin America. So you need to read carefully the text of the call every time. There is a question about whether Nigeria is associated, and the answer is no. Again, today it's Tunisia, Egypt, and possibly in the future Morocco. There are discussions with Nigeria about possible cooperation, S&T cooperation agreement, but not association at this stage. Do you want to take another question, or there are many questions. I'm very sorry if your question is not answered.
Okay.
It's either because it's very specific and a bit out of scope, or maybe we don't know the answer. It's a very good question. We don't know the answer, so we rather not to give the wrong answer. Or we already answered the question, or it's going to be, some people are asking for the links or the presentations. We will share that after, and we will do a summary of the main question, hopefully, with the answers. I personally answered 33 questions individually, and I see there are 114 still open. So 15 now. Again, it's not a lack of interest and willingness to be open and transparent. Just a bit overwhelmed today with all the questions. When do we begin registration? Today, when application starts. Again, we said the call is published, but not all topics are today open for submission, and they will be in a couple of weeks. So all the information about the call is available, so you can start thinking, preparing, contacting, finding partners, but you are not physically able to start uploading the proposal.
Yes. Okay. Laurent, just I think we come to the end for this second session. It's official session dedicated to Africa Initiative 3.
There is a question about matchmaking. So I think you will mention there are actually, as we speak today and tomorrow, other webinars for specific clusters or sub-partner, we call them missions. So some of this topic may be included, and those webinars are not just for Africa, they are for any participants in Europe or the rest of the world. So we will provide the dates. Some of those are recorded, so even if it passed, you can always go back and look at it and see who was there. Sometimes you can find interesting partners among those who have participated, and you can listen to part of the discussion that could be of interest to you. There will be more. We are together with specific countries who have asked for it, trying to organize as well dedicated national events, either just webinars or sometime hybrid event when there will be people in the room and then other people connected. So we are planning one, for instance, in Ethiopia at the end of June. There is one in South Africa next week with South Africa. We are discussing one with Nigeria. And we expect to do more, but given that the deadlines are in September, and that we are trying to do them very quickly, because there's no point to organize this in end of August when the deadline is going to be 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yes.
So reach out to people you know in Europe, ask whether they prepare proposal in areas that you think are of interest, and try to be use the partner search function for topics for which you have clearly expertise of interest for the topic. And again, we wish you all the best. Thank you very much for your interest today, for all the questions. We will review the questions which have not been answered and try to do our best to answer them. And with this, I give back the floor to Ahmed, and I thank him very much for organizing this, and best wishes and lovely end of the day for everybody here. Merci.
Okay, thanks a lot, dear Laurent, for all information provided today for this session dedicated to Africa Initiative 3 and the work program 2025 for Horizon Europe. So I have 3 words to say: be informed, be connected, and be proactive. And best wish for you of all, and see you soon. I hope that. So goodbye.